Hey Luke, it's AJ Hurst again. I wanted to record this video. A lot of times it's a little easier if I can show you on my screen what I'm talking about. Helps kind of clarify things and keep it straight. So first, thanks again for the phone call yesterday. I enjoyed it. I'm real interested to kind of talk with you a little bit more and see, I know that you're kind of at a crossroads of deciding which direction you're going to be taking your practice and some of the next steps. So I want to provide you as much information as I can so that you maybe have an idea of what's possible in the future. I don't want to be trying to sway your decisions. Those are yours to make, but I just want you to be informed. So with that in mind, here is your website, obviously. And normally I would want to kind of offer some thoughts on the website. I'll kind of hold off on that since you said that you're going to be having a new website live. And I'm sure that it will be taken care of with the new site, but I just wanted to make sure to point out that this site is not mobile friendly. When you look at it on a screen, everything's just real small. It doesn't really, it's not mobile responsive, so it's not responding to the different size device that you're on. Hopefully that'll just be taken care of with the new update. But that's really important because over half of traffic these days is on mobile devices, so you really got to cater to that. I wanted to show you the traffic that you're getting to your website. So, the last couple months it was around 60 visitors per month. But if you look at this graph, those were kind of an anomaly, and I wonder if they have to do with the new website being built, kind of going and visiting a bit more. The last year or so you've had, anywhere from basically nothing to maybe 20 visitors per month. So you're not really getting any visitors or any traffic to your website. And what is coming from, this shows the percentage of traffic that's coming to your site and what keyword they're typing in or variation of. And it's essentially the name, Dr. Scott, very clear. They already know you and they're searching specifically for you. So not really what we want. Let me show you a couple other sites just to kind of give you an idea. This is Dublin Orthodontics, and they're obviously in Dublin, Ohio, and their traffic is 187. So, and that's been pretty steady, 150 to 200 per month for the last year. And their number one traffic source is the keyword orthodontist Dublin, and then orthodontist Dublin, Ohio. Between the two of them, that accounts for like 90% of their traffic. So anytime that somebody is searching for an orthodontist in Dublin, Ohio, they're probably going to be going to Dublin Orthodontics. And I want to show you this other site as well for Trio Orthodontics. I know they're part of Smile Doctors Braces now. And they're big. They have quite a few locations, but some of the locations are, in your neck of the woods. So I think that it's still applicable for what is possible now, and certainly applicable for what's possible in the future if you do decide to go the route of really growing and developing your practice and opening other locations. Their traffic is, of course, a lot, like 1,700 visitors per month. And it has gone up a lot, but even over the past year, it was 300-400 and then climbing quite a bit. So they have a lot of traffic coming to their website. And the thing about traffic is it's just a lot more opportunity to reach somebody, sell them on your services, and get them into your practice. As well, I wanted to talk just a little bit about, let me just go back to your site. I want to talk a little bit more about the population. So I know you're in a couple small cities. You do have some larger populations surrounding you. I think probably like, I was trying to add it up. It's a little difficult for me just looking at Google Maps, but I would say probably around 100,000 or so in a generally close vicinity. And of course, you're not too far from Columbus and some of those outlying areas, like where some of the areas Trio Orthodontics is targeting, and there's of course a massive population there. So if you want to be growing and expanding, there is certainly room to grow and expand. I really feel that what I can do for you from a marketing perspective is going to be solely based on and limited by your aspirations. And again, it's your call, it's your decision. I don't know kind of what direction you want to go, but I definitely know that the population is there to support whatever you want to do. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the specific things. From an SEO standpoint, I want to show you this. I use this tool so that I can mimic as if I'm in your area, because Google is very location specific. And when I search for best orthodontist in Marysville, I tried a whole bunch of different search terms. Most of them you are showing up for because there's just not a lot of competition. So Marysville, Plain City, you're going to be showing up for those. Now, as soon as you move to Dublin or Powell or something like that, you're not really showing up for much of anything. But in Marysville, I did find, again, you're showing up number 1 and number 2. And again, we talked about this, but you only have one review apiece. This is at least 5-star. This one's a 4-star. When you get below 4-star is kind of where people start to question the quality. Something to keep in mind. But Jeffrey Himmler shows him as an orthodontist here in the maps, and he's got 83 reviews and 4.9 stars. That's pretty powerful. And as well, when you look at some of these organic listings, you're coming up number 3. This is kind of funny. This is the guy who actually did my braces. He's in Lake Stevens, but also Marysville, Washington. So that's probably why he's beating you out here. Again, here's another one from Marysville, Washington. But then again, here's that Dr. Jeffrey Himmler. So I would just point that out to say that you're not completely without competition in your area. And I went to his website real quick. I'll show you. He is getting a decent amount of traffic. It's actually decreased some, but he's getting 20, 30, 50 plus visitors per month to his website, and he does actually have a orthodontic treatment page talking about providing orthodontics. So there is some competition in your neck of the woods. I feel like if you can stay ahead of it, you will be setting yourself up for future success. With AdWords, the thing about the population is that AdWords kind of needs a bit of population because it needs some volume of people searching. The beautiful thing that I'm seeing in your area is that it does seem like AdWords competition is extremely low. If you did want to get into that space, it might not work so well, say, in Marysville or Plain City, just because they are small. But I think that in Dublin, Powell, and certainly once you start getting into Columbus, it would definitely work because the population is there to support it. And I do think that if you have a really good offer, people will travel to come see you. So not just quality, although that is an aspect of it, but speaking to people's pocketbooks. And a lot of orthodontists want to offer $500 off or something like that. What I have seen to work better than that is to offer financing. And people sometimes know that you offer financing, but they don't always know it, and they can't always quantify it in their brain of what that actually means. So if you can say, hey, you can get braces for X down and X per month, especially if it's something like $100 or $150 per month, that really then starts to speak to people and makes them sit up and pay attention. And that's when they will raise their hand online, give you their information, or just call you and set up a consult appointment. So that's what I've seen to work. And I think that AdWords could really work well in some of your surrounding areas. Ultimately, every market's a little different, and we would have to kind of try it. But I'm not seeing a lot of competition in your area, and what competition there is, they frankly just aren't doing it very well. We have some really tried and true methods that work, and it's quite frankly, it's in the top 1% of performance in AdWords, and it's just the way that we do it. It takes some more work up front that most people aren't willing to do, but it pays off in the long run. Next, let's just really quickly talk about Facebook. Here's your Facebook page. You've got 600 followers. You've got 29 reviews, 5-star reviews. That's great. The thing that I do want to point out is here's Trio Orthodontics again. They're in a larger market. This is their Dublin office, but they have like 1,500 likes. Likes are sometimes, you can't judge a page by the number of likes because likes can be bought or be kind of worthless at times. But what they do have is they have, if I can find it, they have 42 reviews. So again, it's just some of that social activity, the social signals that are indicating that this is a good place to go. And you're really not doing too bad. What I do want to point out, and there's not really much I can show you on my screen to prove this, but Facebook ads work. It's putting a billboard in front of a targeted person and showing it to them whenever and wherever you want. And as well, it makes it really easy. It's not, they don't have to be driving down the road and then trying to remember a phone number or then Google you later and call you up. They see the billboard, they can click on it, they can interact with it and engage with it, and they can immediately give you their information or call you. It is really effective and something that I would love to be starting for you. You did seem to be pretty interested in that, and the way I generally like to start doing some Facebook ads is run a trial so that I can test out the market and see what ad is going to work the best. There's a couple different ways that we do it and a couple different options we have for starting out. What I generally like to do is kind of have a name your own price way to start, where we take the profit that you would have from getting just one patient started. You tell me what that profit amount is, and I will take that amount of money and I will run some Facebook ads. And I can pretty well guarantee that you will get at least your one patient back, so that worst case scenario, you're out nothing. Best case scenario, we get you 5 to 10 patients off of that ad spend, and you have a chance to see how my system works, what it takes to be successful in it, what kind of follow-up is needed, all these things that I can kind of walk you through better and talk with your team members, whoever will be kind of managing this. I wouldn't expect you to be calling up everybody. It sounds like you had a pretty good system in place. So we can talk more about that. Anyways, I will end this here. It's starting to get kind of long, but I just wanted to provide you some information that, you know, your website could use some mobile updates. The population surrounding you is, I think, enough to support AdWords, and certainly enough to support AdWords in Columbus when you get to that area. And along with that, I definitely think that there's room for us to improve your SEO, your ranking in Google, so that you are really dominating and you're not giving up patients to people like Dr. Himmler, or I think that was his name, or the other orthodontists in Dublin or Powell. You want to be first in mind for everybody. And then certainly, really regardless of population, I know that Facebook works. You know, maybe a population of 200 people, it wouldn't work, but anything over, say, 5,000, it's going to work. There's enough population and enough people are on Facebook, and you certainly have that in your local area. And then, of course, if you want to move into Columbus. The one last thought I'll leave you with is that I know you had talked about having your friend come and be an associate orthodontist with you. And I know that you don't want to be pushing out the senior orthodontist, Dr. Scott. You know, nobody wants to end a relationship on a bad note. And the thing I want to emphasize to you is that you won't be pushing him out if you are bringing in enough business to keep all three of you potentially busy. Just something to think about. I know that these paid ad platforms, Facebook and AdWords, can work really fast. Like if we start it today, you can have leads coming in next week that you're following up with, and then it's just a matter of scheduling on how quickly that you can get them in. But you can build a pretty big pipeline of patients coming in to support however big you want to grow your team to. So that's just what I want to leave you with, that you can start today and you can be building not just for your future, but for the immediate future of bringing in the team that you want to build. All right. Thanks for listening to this. I will talk to you later. Have a great day.